Now look, I love the plot of Pikmin 1. I mean, everything about Olimar's original escape in Pikmin 1 is really fun, and I really love the way it's told through notes, and how he reflects upon his family, and I think really the idea of a guy on his space vacation, crashing down onto a planet, needing alien help to escape, being in life and death stakes, everything that goes on in that game is priceless to me. Pikmin 2 is an amazing follow-up that teases at Olimar nearly hitting the rock again as he returns. He crashes a little bit and loses Louis, but different unfortunate circumstances befall him. He loses his ship in the beginning of the game. He loses his co-worker in the middle of the game. And he's forced away from his family yet again. He really seems to have no desire to return to the planet, but he does so anyway because he needs to for his company. Pikmin 3 is the third time he returns to this planet where he nearly met his end the first time, and it's a little absurd that he keeps returning to this planet and nearly crashing, or actually crashing. Like, you would think he would never want to come back to this planet again. I know the timeline starts to get dubious around Pikmin 3, especially with the release of Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but what isn't dubious is the fact that this is Olimar's ship right here, crashed. It's the Hocotate ship from Pikmin 2, crashed. So that's now a count of 2 vessels, count them, 2, that have crashed. So hey Pikmin, the next game released, Olimar's SS Dolphin 2 can't get off the planet, you need to get Sparklium, crashed, okay? And now Pikmin 4, I get, it's a reboot of the timeline. I get, or something along those lines, you know, I'll talk about that in a later video probably with Davogado, let's be real. But just go with the fact that it's a reboot or something funky is happening with continuity here, whether it's a split timeline, I don't care. Olimar has crashed. In fact, he crashes twice in this game. So, Olimar is crash prone, and he's not the only person in the Pikmin series that's crash prone. The Copiates crash.
Something's horribly wrong.
All of the castaways crash, the rescue corps crashes. It looks like this planet is a crash haven, and it's becoming more and more the longer the series goes on. Perhaps it's something like the weird magnetic interference around the planet, or something like the Wraiths. Ooh, spooky! Like, there's something going on with the planet, and Pikmin 3 even directly teases this in its outro. I know the side stories kind of don't really go into that, as you fix the ship, that's great, but like, the original Pikmin 3 totally had a tease at the end of, like, what was the cause of the mysterious crash, and that's never been solved, especially because we never got a new entry after 3. So that's great. That's, like, the big mystery of Pikmin, I understand. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk about Olimar's Sisyphean boulder of constantly crashing his ship and escaping the planet. Like, literally, can this go on for much longer? Every game, with the exception of Pikmin 2, somewhat, even though he does still hit a tree, but that's whatever, Olimar crashes his ship and needs to get off the planet, right? So, how many times are we going to keep doing this as the Pikmin plot? I enjoyed it in Pikmin 1, it was very novel. Pikmin 2 didn't really do it at all. Pikmin 3, it was a refreshed return to form where he crashed a different ship and you didn't get ship parts to fix it and get off. It was, you know, you had to get help from the Copiates, or he had to get help from the Copiates that you controlled, rather. Pikmin 4, there's an entire side mode about getting ship parts, and don't get me wrong, I love Olimar's Shipwreck Tale. It's a fun throwback to Pikmin 1 that is so much fun, so enjoyable, great. However, it's just more of Olimar getting ship parts and crashing his ship multiple times, and not only that, Pikmin 4 is the most ship crashes of any game in the series, bar none, because all of the castaways have crashed, which, by the way, we never see their ships. There might be a line of dialogue talking about that, but I don't remember it. It's just we don't see their ships. They all end up on the SS Shepherd, which nearly blew up, by the way. So, it's just kind of a mess in terms of this being a ship graveyard planet. And that's cool and all. But can Pikmin 5 really have its hook be that someone else crashed on this planet? Right, Pikmin 1 did it, Pikmin 3 did it, Pikmin 4 did it, and in terms of people being castaways on this planet, every single Pikmin game has had its protagonist, and now with 4 others, be castaways, or left behind or stranded, right? Pikmin 1, it's Olimar. Pikmin 2, Louie's left behind. Pikmin 3, Olimar's stuck, Louie's stuck. You have to reunite with Brittany and Charlie as Alf. Pikmin 4 just has the whole castaway mechanic. I mean, It seems like ship crashes are part of the series' identity when I'm not sure it needs to be the narrative focus of every game. Is this really the Pikmin equivalent of Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach? I mean, it can be, but it's hard to build a coherent narrative when you do that sort of thing. That said, well, Pikmin 4 acknowledges this and seems to reboot the canon. Is Nintendo so married to the ship crash idea that they're willing to throw out the story they already have? Probably. I mean, is Pikmin 5 just gonna have more ship crashes? Scale it up? Big yacht in space crashes? Like, I don't know. The real question here is Olimar going to crash his ship again in Pikmin 5? I don't know. Is anyone gonna crash their ship again in Pikmin 5? Probably. But like, it's going to be absurd if we get a Pikmin 6, a Pikmin 7, and every single game, Olimar crashes his ship and then gets off his planet and gets back to his family, right? Like, I don't care if it's in multiple dimensions or timelines or whatever, there is a point to where Olimar, in some universe, would probably avoid this planet, right? Like, is this his canon event? Olimar crashes on this planet. I mean, I think it makes sense after 3, they had to do a timeline warp, like a timeline wipe for 4, or whatever, because, frankly, after Pikmin 2, I'm not sure he'd want to go back to that planet again. After Pikmin 3 and crashing, he definitely would not want to go back to that planet again. Like, I'm just saying, there is something absurd to having Olimar crash this many times, and on one hand, I'm all for it. It's kind of funny, it's a funny joke, it's as funny as Louis, you know, I get that, but also, like, come on. So, my question to you, do you think that Olimar is going to crash his ship again in Pikmin 5? Do you think we'll see any ship crashes in Pikmin 5? Do you think this is something that's just kind of the standard for every game in the series, including a lot of future spin-offs if we have them, look at Hey Pikmin? Or do you think it's just kind of been the first 4 games, and maybe even the first 3 games were like this, 4's a reboot, and they're gonna go take things in a completely different direction with the inevitable Pikmin 5 following the success of Pikmin 4? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Vantage Emblem, thank you for following me on this rant, I just want to know your opinions, please tell them to me, and I'll see you in the next Pikmin video. Take care everyone, cheers.